Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. You guys, my stomach is hurting so bad, like Marisol. Okay, but I'm gonna muster up the strength and the courage to do this damn video. Housewives in the land, baby. If you know, you know. I hope you guys are watching the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip on Peacock. Okay, Marisol has been having health issues. She is the Vicky of season 3. The ladies are in Thailand. Y'all know housewives from the different franchises. They come together for one big girls trip. There's drama. They bring up the past. They talk about their feelings. They're having fun. They're cussing each other out. They're crying. It's a whole hot mess. So we have Porsha from Atlanta, Jizzy, the last lady of Potomac, and Miss Candiace Dillard-Bassett from Potomac as well. Alexia and Marisol, the bullies of Miami, Whitney Heather Badweather of Salt Lake City, and Leah McSweeney of New York City. First impressions. I don't know if I said this, but it's 3 episodes that came out this morning. And so I'm going to dedicate one video per episode. I usually conflate all the episodes all together, but I'm going to stretch out the content, okay? Let's see. First impressions, Porsha. Y'all know Porsha is my favorite housewife of all time. I feel like she came in, this is her, reintroduction into the Housewives universe since leaving the Housewives. And then she did the one-off spinoff with the Porsha's Family Matters and things like that. She's definitely giving us spice. Excuse me. She's giving us moments. She's giving us drama. She looks beautiful. The hair and makeup is gorgeous. Somebody said that they could see her lace. But before you come for Porsha and her hair, which looks gorgeous, please talk about Gizelle and the hat that was on her head. Okay, like, stop playing with the girl. Stop playing with my girl, specifically. Like, I'm sick of that. But no, when I saw her on my TV screen, I just lit up like a Christmas tree because I'm like, yes, this is the energy that we need back on the TV. Okay, we need Porsha back on the TV. Her personality is infectious, and she's just a big ball of energy. Definitely, I would say one of the stars of the show. I would say the star of the show. I would say Gizelle is also another star of the show. Now, if you thought that Gizelle was a producer, a ghost producer, as Carlos King would say on The Real Housewives of Potomac, then she's definitely working overtime when it comes to The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, okay? I mean, sis is starting fights between Whitney Heather Badweather. Sis is starting fights with Leah McSweeney. Sis is trying to get to the bottom of what the hell is going on with, who else is there? The girls from Miami, like, Jizzy is starting all of the conversations. She's starting all of the arguments. She's instigating every single conversation, and I actually am not too upset about it. Now, the flip side to that, the downside to that, is the fact that we don't know anything new about Jizzy herself. And she says, well, if you want to know something, just ask. And she doesn't really open up. I mean, all that we know is that she may not be in a relationship. This is her words. She may not be in a relationship. However, she is dabbling here and dabbling there and dabbling everywhere. Also known as she being a little bit of a in the streets of Potomac, all right? What else? Okay, so Portia's a star, Gizelle's a star. I would say Candiace is a star, one of the stars. I would say all the black women are they're doing it for me. And I don't know if my brain just automatically pays attention to them more because I'm black and I like them more. I don't know. I mean, it's just the black connection. But to me, they're the stars of the group. But Whitney Heather Badweather, they also, like, Heather definitely was giving star, okay, not starless on the first episode, okay? She had a little moment where everybody wasn't too keen of Heather. I would say Leah wants to be a star. Leah is starless, in the words of Nene Leakes. Leah wants the attention. She wants all eyes on her. How Britney Spears say and scream and shout, all eyes on us, all eyes on us. Leah McSweeney wants all the eyes on her. But then when she gets the attention, how Porsha say, she kind of retreats a little bit. And I don't like that, Leah. If you're going to be a villain, okay, then stand in your villain role. You can't decide to be a villain or do something that's, kind of just rude and fucked up and then retreat like, oh my God, did I do that? Did I say that? And it's like, sis, you know what you're doing, you know what you're saying, and you deserve all the heat. Don't be upset when they come to you with the heat for being such a A-hole. And then Alexia and Marisol, I would say that they kind of are steady to the back. They're steady to the back. You know, they're not really giving us star moments. And it's funny because Alexia's whole storyline last season of The Real Housewives of Miami, which I need to go ahead and watch that final part of the reunion. Her whole thing is, I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. God made me a star. My mom named me something. Is her middle name Star? But Alexia, you claim to be this star and it's giving starless. You're in the background. We forget that you're even there. Anyways, okay, so what do we have for this episode? Porsha opens everything up. They're getting ready for the girls' trip and whatnot. Candiace and Gizelle are FaceTiming. That's weird. Why are these girls FaceTiming? We just saw, now mind you, every city, Salt Lake City, Potomac and Miami, they finished their seasons, and then 2 weeks later, they went to Thailand. And then months later, they filmed the reunions for those last seasons that they filmed before Thailand. So it's kind of weird because, yes, this is in chronological order. However, the reunion happened after this. I was getting confused myself, like, okay, wait. Yeah. The reunion for these shows, they were all filmed after Thailand. So it's weird because we watched Candiace talking about some, your proximity to whiteness and you're a white woman and you're a bitch and you're a that and yada, 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 yada. While they were all in shades of blue for the reunion. Sorry, y'all. And then we see these two FaceTiming, and Candiace, I think Gizelle is seen talking about candy pants, and yada, yada, yada. Like, she gets on my nerves, but, that's my sister. And I think in one scene she says, I love you, Candiace. And I'm like, what? I love who? I love what? Excuse me? Get somebody else to do it. So it's just really interesting to see the dynamics. But yeah, Candiace and Gizelle, they were like getting along. And spoiler alert, they don't get along for the whole thing, child. Hey, it's a mess. But in the very beginning, they're like saying, I love you, and you're the white version of me, and I'm the black version of you. Okay. Anyways, moving right along, the ladies, they go to Phuket. Okay, they're grilling Heather because Heather is best friends with Jen Shah. And at this particular point in time, Jen Shah had just turned her innocent plea into a guilty plea because she was lying the whole time. And they were staring at Heather like, Heather, how do you feel about your best friend Jen lying to you the whole time, talking about she was innocent and she wasn't? And Heather was like dumbfounded and didn't even know what to say. And it's just like, sis, like, say something. You're not going to say nothing how Yvonne say? Y'all remember when Yvonne was hush mouth and didn't know what to say because she was the snake. Her and Nene collectively was the snakes. And then Yvonne was like, the snake is your man's. Yeah. So, Heather basically didn't say anything. And Heather, what I do like about Heather, though, is she's flawed, but she understands her flaws. And that is a sign of a well-rounded human being. When you know that you do something that you know is not necessarily healthy and you know you need to work on, but you know that about yourself. And she says that, yeah, I'm a friend and I'm loyal, even if it's to the detriment of that friend. And I'm just loyal to a fault, and it is what it is. And, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I respect the fact that at least you know, sis, at least you know that your friends aren't shit. And by the way, you not shit. Okay. Leah, then told Heather that she's been manipulated by a narcissist. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. So they gave Porsha, from what I saw, the best room. Okay. Because y'all know she's the queen of Bravo, and now she's the queen of Peacock and whatnot. She says that Bravo really wants her back, and the producers was steady trying to tell her, sis, this is not Bravo, this is Peacock, okay? You are not back on Bravo. You are on Peacock, the streaming, okay? Excuse me. Leah gets the worst room because she has the worst attitude, the worst energy. She has the worst aura. I mean, I'm just saying. Marisol is sick the whole time. And, Alexia is steady trying to get her water. I think she has an ulcer or something is going on with her stomach. And Alexia is steady trying to, get her to drink some water. But we all know Marisol is a grade A alcoholic, allegedly. Okay, she's an alcoholic. She wakes up and she drinks her Tito's and she likes her martinis and she wants her olives and her glasses and she has her little what do you call those cups that they be making on TikTok? Uh they call them something. Like you can put water in it and it'll keep it cold, but you can also put coffee in it and it keeps it warm. Whatever. But yeah, she has a whole bunch of those and she bedazzles them out and she drinks throughout the day. But Marisol really can't do that much drinking because sis's stomach is all fucked up. Gizelle and Porsha's relationship, they're coming into the home. The home is beautiful, by the way, in Thailand. Beautiful, mansion and things like that. Gizelle and Porsha's relationship, they're really, really tight. They're really, really cool. They get along. And it's really interesting, every time I see them interact because, Gizelle reminds me so much of Kenya. Am I the only one who gets that vibe? Like, Gizelle literally is the Kenya of Potomac. Like, Kenya and Gizelle to me are the exact same person. The exact. It's just wild how similar they are to me. And we know that Kenya and Porsha have never gotten along, except for that one season where they got along for maybe like 2 months, and then the rest of the months they couldn't get along. It's just really interesting to see how a personality like Porsha and a personality like Gizelle can coexist and they can be girlfriends and they can be friends because they just don't seem like they should be friends. It's really an odd pairing, but I'm not, Gizelle being friends with Porsha kind of makes me like Gizelle, which is really weird, but I don't know. That's how I'm feeling. Okay. Candiace tells Leah and Whitney to not trust Gizelle, and I would agree with Candiace's sentiments. You cannot trust Gizelle. Gizelle has already earned the reputation of being in everyone's business, asking too many questions, and just doing the most. They understand that Gizelle is there to stir the pot. She's there to stir shit up. She's there to create television. She is Bravo's golden child. There's a reason why she ain't got no storyline and we don't know really nothing about her life. She's a woman scorned and she's closed off and she built up a wall, okay? And, there's a reason why she's able to have that personality and still be able to sit by Andy every single reunion is because she's a ghost producer. Just call her Gizelle Carlos King Bryant. Because she's going to get the drama started, okay? And that's exactly what she's been doing. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, Candiace is telling Leah and Whitney, don't trust Gizelle. Don't trust Gizelle. She's messy. She's, bitter. She's a woman scorned. She has no business of her own. So they're sitting around and they're chilling, waiting for instructions. And Heather of Whitney Heather Bad Weather suggests that they try to get Leah drunk, as a joke. She goes, let's get Leah drunk, you guys. Like, it's going to be our mission on this trip to get Leah drunk. Now, you're probably thinking, what's wrong with that? It's girls' trip. It's Housewives. That's all they do is get drunk, talk shit, and fight. You know what I mean? Well, you guys, a little bit of a backstory. Miss Leah McSweeney of New York City is a recovering alcoholic. And I think she's a drug addict, if I'm not mistaken. A recovering drug addict. Whitney Heather Bad Weather. Whitney Heather Bad Weather. I feel like I keep calling her Heather Weather. Heather, you know what you're doing and you're a mean girl at heart, okay? You like to act like, oh, I'm just the funny one. I want to be everybody's friend. Oh, Heather is spicy, honey. Heather, you cannot call Heather starless, okay? Because Heather is really coming. I would say, yeah, you can't call Heather starless. Heather wants to be a star in her own right, and quiet as it's kept, the girls are saying that she's a clout chaser, but we'll get to that in just a second. But, Heather is spicy because why in the hell, mind you, Leah wrote a book. Leah wrote a book about her addiction. Leah wrote a book about her alcoholism. Leah wrote a book about her past and her demons and how she's trying to overcome and become a better person, even though her attitude is still stank. Heather, you're a fan of this woman's. You read the damn book. You knew her struggles. And then you gon' joke around talking about it's going to be our mission to get Leah McSweeney of New York City drunk. Heather, you deserve to get cussed out. Okay? You deserve to get your ass cussed out. So anyway, Gizelle throws Heather all the way under the bus and ends up telling Leah McSweeney, that Heather was suggesting that she drinks, and Leah was all confused, like, why in the hell, if you know my story and you know my book and you know my demons and if you know what I'm struggling with, why in the hell would you suggest that the ladies try to get me drunk? And it was a whole topic of conversation for the next 3 episodes about Leah McSweeney and her past and her being sober. And I'm just like, okay, sis hasn't been on TV for 3 years, and so she got to get it all out. Mind you, fast forward in another episode, Leah goes, I think Alexia's talking about the gay husband that she had, and she goes, oh my God, this is so boring, and we've heard this before, and yada, 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 yada. Listen, we're proud of the sobriety, but that's also a very boring conversation, sis, that you bring up all the time. All right. So, listen, moving right along, Gizelle throws Heather all the way under the bus, but listen, I don't like Jizzy on Potomac, but she's doing the Lord's work on Ultimate Girls Trip, and I'm absolutely here for it. And then we get Whitney versus Heather. They're hashing their stuff out. I don't really watch Salt Lake City, but I was privy to the inception of their falling out, and basically, there were some rumors going around about Lisa Barlow. And, once upon a time, right before filming, Whitney had their bad weather. They were at a Jazz game in Utah and whatnot, and they were just being messy and gossiping and slinging around rumors about Lisa, right? And so when Whitney brought the rumors up to the show in front of Lisa, Heather made it seem like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard that rumor. And so, Whitney was upset because it kind of made Whitney look a little bit dumb. And, Heather called a liar. Meanwhile, these are 2 Mormon cousins and they're super close, and now they're not close anymore, and yada, 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 yada. Okay, anyways. I don't know if y'all care about that, but it's a whole thing. If you watch Salt Lake City, you got to watch Salt Lake City in order to really get into it. You got to watch the show. But basically, they both calling each other liars. But the root of their issue, I believe, is the fact that, remember how I said that Heather is really loyal to criminal Jen Shah? Whitney feels as though I'm your cousin, I'm your best friend, we're Whitney, Heather bad weather. As much loyalty you give to Jen Shah, who's a criminal, give me the same loyalty. And that's a running theme throughout the entire first 3 episodes as well. Whitney is talking behind Heather's back, talking about, Heather is clout chasing off of Porsha because she keeps mentioning that Porsha has 7 million followers. And she keeps saying, well, I'm going to get some of your followers and I'm like, girl, Porsha 7 million followers is not your core audience. So just sit it on down to the ground on this little TV show. Okay, Whitney had the bad weather. And then, what's her face? Heather is bad-mouthing Whitney behind her back, saying that the fame has gone to her head. And I think they feel the same about each other. They both feel as though that they're clout chasers. They feel that each other are clout chasers. They feel like they both have let the fame go to their head. They both feel like they've changed since the cameras. And it's interesting because I think that's true about both of them. Okay, y'all are both some clout chasers. Y'all both want to be, stars. Because y'all know that, you fit into the category that Nene was talking about, starless. Heather and Whitney are starless. So you think, Heather think Whitney a clout chaser. Whitney think Heather a clout chaser. And I think y'all are telling the truth about each other. Y'all both ain't shit. Okay. All right, moving right along. Leah confronts Heather about, getting her to drink, and she's sober. Yada yada. Whitney tells Candiace that, she misjudged her. They're at a dinner, they're chilling, and Whitney tells Candiace that she feels as though she misjudged her from the Real Housewives of Potomac because Whitney didn't like the fact that Candiace was body shaming and mom shaming Ashley Darby, saying that she had a wide body and a wide forehead and this, that, and the third, and whatever. And that's when Candiace was like, Ashley said this about me, and Ashley said that about me, and yada, yada, yada. She was basically trying to, explain while she was body shaming and mom shaming and doing all the other extra shaming and, you know what I mean, not really taking accountability for her words and her actions. Because Candiace do be saying a lot of off the wall shit, and it just be like, okay, girl, like, you don't have to go for the jugular at every single point in time. Like, it's okay to, you know, meet somebody at a level 2, but you take it all the way to a level 10 where it don't got to be. And so as a viewer, Porsha decided to give her opinion on Candiace and her body shaming, and basically said that, you know, she believes, she doesn't know, but Porsha believes that Candiace may have had a change of heart about some of the things that she said about Ashley and the motherhood and the pregnancy and the forehead and the body shaming, because she has now envisioned her own self as a mom going through the IVF process, and maybe she has realized some of the ignorant things that she said in the past to Ashley. Candiace is like, no, sis, no, Porsha, you need to shut up, and that's not true, and whatever. While Porsha's trying to give her whole spill, Candiace keeps interrupting her. Porsha goes, well, sis, you know, let me finish. Let me say a complete thought. Let me finish a sentence. Candiace is really not having it, and you can tell that there's some tension brewing between Porsha and Candiace here. And Candiace was basically like, you know, none of that is true, Porsha. Okay, I understand that you're a fan, sis. I understand that you have your opinions based off of watching the show and whatnot, but ain't none of that true. And the true tea is that I was very aware of what I was saying, and I was trying to hurt her feelings. And yes, I was trying to be mean because Ashley was being mean to me first. And Porsha was like, okay, well, fuck it then. You're just a mean person. You're just mean. And then that's where the episode cuts off. So in the next episode, y'all, they slinging shit. They slinging elephant shit. You know, we get into some things about Porsha and Simon, and it's a whole situation. So let me know how y'all feel about everything. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.